Travel, as we know it, is about to change forever. Because Airbnb is dead. Yes, but even though Airbnb is dead, this is exactly what is not dead. Going here for Coachella, or going here with your family for Disney, or going here because you scrolled the internet for literally more than 15 seconds and you are about to go certifiably postal.
Welcome to medieval times. I'll be your serving wench, Melinda.
Dost have thou a mug of ale for me and me mate? He has been pitched in.
The world needs a little space right now. And now's a perfect opportunity for you to give that to them. I've made over $10 million in this space, and I've coached thousands of people to start their own businesses and achieve financial freedom through the techniques that I'm about to show you in this video. So strap in, discount double check, buckle up, like the video, let's go. My friends, let me introduce to you the collapse of Airbnb. You've seen it on TV, TikTok, YouTube, it's everywhere right now. Airbnb is going through an identity crisis because they got greedy, they grew too fast, and made a ton of mistakes. Now, the death of Airbnb isn't the death of short-term rentals, though. People haven't stopped traveling. They haven't sworn off really cool houses or crazy places. I mean, Ryan Trahan is maybe the only thing going for Airbnb right now. But if it wasn't for him, people would be booking somewhere else, like VRBO or Booking.com or Marriott Homes and Villas, most likely. These spaces exist outside of the space-time continuum of Airbnb. And yes, Airbnb got lucky. They positioned themselves well to inspire these crazy spaces, to inspire the novelty, but even they're walking that back, which is probably the dumbest take. They've even removed categories from the search platform because they wanted to introduce services. If you're a host, let me know what you think in the comments. I think that's tone deaf, but that's just one. Airbnb has screwed guests and hosts so many times. And they screwed guests by way of hosts, right? The whole cleaning fees, checkout lists, racism, cameras by the pool, cameras hidden in smoke detectors, endless amounts of sexual assault that hosts commit on their travelers, all sorts of crazy stuff. It's everywhere, right? And us hosts, we would punch Brian Chesky in the mouth if we saw him for all of the shit that he's done wrong for hosts. He stole our money during COVID. He charges us an extra 50% penalty if we can't host you. And Airbnb determines that it's our fault, which is the default setting, by the way. You still get a full refund, we pay an extra 50%. Airbnb guest leaves a retaliatory or bad review because they're mad that we had to enforce a policy. It's really hard to get that review removed. And Airbnb's algorithm is so strict about reviews, you get one mid-review and Airbnb buries you. You might as well be dead on arrival after just one guest dispute. Airbnb is not built for reality. Airbnb is built on a utopia that will never exist. At least not one that can be run by the Darth Vader of short-term rentals, which is Brian Chesky. There's no way that this authoritarian approach to hospitality would ever work. I can't believe he still thinks it'll work. Imagine something as you're watching me rant about all the problems in the space. If I'm a professional in the space and profitable and I'm still this angry, imagine how many other people are just this close to quitting. And if you study business, I want you to guess what that does for supply. If everybody's about to quit and there just needs to be the one straw that breaks the camel's back, supply will be gone. And what happens in an industry where there's no supply? What are guests going to do? They're going to scramble to pay more money for the stuff that is left. Typical supply and demand. And we can already see hosts leaving. The straws are breaking these camels' backs. We're going to run out of camels pretty soon. Travel is permanent. Hosts, they're not. This is low barrier to entry. People get out all the time. There's going to be a churn. So while everyone else is rage quitting, you can jump in. Water is warm, boiling even with the temperament of hosts being angry at Airbnb. But check it, you're not here to be a landlord. You're here to be a visionary, an artist, a friend, like Buc-ee's even. Be a friend. If a guest calls you, pick up the phone. If a guest needs you, just pick up the damn phone. And if that's the pro tip, if that really is a secret to being a good host in the short-term rental space, is just picking up the phone, can you imagine how easy this industry actually is? That hosts are failing because they don't want to talk to people. Gosh, I get it. I'm a bit of a recluse myself. Sometimes I don't want to talk to people. Maybe it's not that easy. But if you ask Buc-ee's, he would tell you that the industry does not reward landlords, eats them alive, and turns them into a TikTok trend. But the people who know how to take something broken and make it beautiful, that, my beautifully traumatized friends, is what we were born for. And yes, I would know. Like you, I'm a bit of a trauma baby myself. And to skip the childhood trauma part of the story, because this is in therapy, I also went homeless in 2009, and that's how I got started into the space. I got evicted. And with an eviction on your record, you cannot live anywhere. 500 credit score too, by the way. I was a victim of the landlord feudal state. So like any strapping young 23-year-old, I lived out of a Mazda MPV van and sold imported teeth whitening kits that I got from China, like a street hustle just to get by. And it was 4 years of survival before I finally got successful. I built a sales team building business in the newspaper industry. Yes, that's how old I am. And I still couldn't live anywhere because I still had an eviction on my record. And a leasing agent at a property told me, hey, just apply as your company. We'll approve the company and then you could live here. Boom, mind blown. That changed my life. And that's ultimately the one secret to how I've made $10 million on Airbnb. $10 million as like 4 years ago. I need to go to my accountant and find out what that number is now. But there was my cave of wonders. You can make money in real estate not owning property, risk-free. The same way that companies protect themselves from bankruptcy by creating a little legal shield is the same way that you can shield yourself from your eviction records, your judgments, and even sometimes your criminal record. This is something that businesses do all the time. This is not new. But of course, to the little guy, all of the cool business secrets are a secret until somebody teaches us or we stumble upon them. And this was one of those, stumble upon a super epic multi-million-dollar secret that I'm sharing with you now. So please, click the like button. And I mean every business. As big as Facebook, they rent spaces all the time. So when you go to rent somewhere as a company, no one bats an eye. Obviously, we're not recreating the wheel, but the wheel has changed since 10 years ago when I first got started. So I've got a little red light, green light kind of situation for you here. Green light first, okay? This industry is as strong as it was 10 years ago for a really cool reason. When I started in Houston, oil was collapsing. And so in Houston, there's a little ripple effect where everything got bad. People got laid off, people moved away, and then there was a lot of inventory available in Houston specifically. And the excess inventory made it easy for me to talk landlords into doing this game. Well, look at the real estate market now. It's not just Airbnb that's collapsing. The whole real estate economy is collapsing. There's a record number of sellers compared to buyers. And there's a record number of homes being built that are trash, by the way, that are going to be sold for a super big discount. Everything's going to start to fall apart. So the builders will have homes that are empty. The sellers won't be able to get rid of property. Everything's going to be a mess. And then the landlords will be eating crow because they won't be able to collect the sky-high rents that they want to collect. Everything will be upside down. Everything is already a little upside down already. This is nearly 2008 level pandemonium. And when these sellers sit on rotting inventory that they cannot sell, they become susceptible to interesting propositions. And your interesting proposition will be to say, hey, I will rent from you. That's not really that crazy, is it? This is something that they're already considering doing anyway, but you're going to make this even better for them. Because when you rent the property, now the property is tenant occupied, which gives them another chance to sell the property potentially to an investor. And the fact that you are a business operator means that you're highly likely to renew the lease. So whether he sells it or not, there is a value add there. You could be the only tenant that the property ever needs, ever, ever, ever. Even if you fell in love and moved to Spain, you'd still keep your short-term rental because it's profitable. Why get rid of a cash-flowing property that's making you mailbox money? Obviously. So now this is a win-win for everybody. The landlord gets to cover their holding costs and potentially never has to deal with a real estate agent in their life to fill the place ever again, because that's a big mess. Tenant turnover is the biggest cost of being a landlord, and you solve that one problem. You could even pitch them on this idea that if they like this, they can buy more properties and you rent from them too, and you have these hand-in-hand relationships. One of my earlier students in Chicago, he built like a 150-door portfolio off the same premise. The next thing you know, he had investors that just wanted to buy more and more properties. Now that they knew that the tenant problem was solved, they were just in all the way. They're still obviously making a lot of money. There's nothing fancy about this. Renting is completely normal. Hell, you probably rent yourself because BlackRock is buying 1 out of every 4 properties in the country. So if you're not 55 years old, you're probably never going to be able to buy a house through legitimate, legal, ethical means in your lifetime. And yes, that's why we eat avocado toast, because we're sad. We eat because we're sad. And since we're discussing being sad, the red light, the part that is harder about this industry now than it was 10 years ago. I made a ton of mistakes back then, but I got away with all of them because there wasn't any supply. And Airbnb was so new, people would stay in a trash bag if it was on Airbnb because it was edgy. It wasn't a hotel. Hipsters were so cool staying in a cardboard box on Broadway. Airbnb, you know? And I have to confess, because of that, I'm a bit of a part of the problem. I'm the menace that made Airbnb have kind of bad reputation on some accounts. I've never charged crazy cleaning fees. I've never had checkout lists that people had to walk somebody's dog before they left. Nothing crazy like that, right? But I had ugly properties. I had basic ones, terrible furniture, photos didn't look so good. And my housekeepings were mid for a while because I try to hire my own housekeepers by the hour and run like a very lean business because that's what I knew. Newspapers, they had to run on almost no cash. So of course I tried to run my business on no cash, which was fun, but it was bad for guests. It really wasn't hospitality first. And of course, COVID came and punched me in the face. I had over 100 properties when COVID hit. And that's when my peoples and I in the company, we had to change. We had to figure out what we were actually going to do to stay relevant in this space. And yes, since then, we've recreated our entire brand proposition. Ooh, shiny, right? We create spaces that allow people to have the memories they've always wanted to have while they're traveling. I should probably say that with a smile because I'm really proud of the work that we do, but I'm very serious on camera half the time. I got to work on that. The goal was to start to create like experiential spaces, spaces that people could escape to. I believe in escapism. Since I'm a disassociative avoidant, escapism is my bag. And so now guests have me picking out color swatches. I even went full diva on the video from yesterday that you can watch on my Red Room. And I really hope you watch it. It really spells out what would make a successful Airbnb this space. But let me tell you the tastiest morsel of a secret. That property cost almost nothing to fix. Nearly nothing. And I actually go through the dollars and cents in the video. You can see the whole thing. And that cheapish update to make this amazing space now, that property will make me about $20,000 net profit per year. And it's easy to run. It's a little studio loft apartment. You can have 10 of them easy. So you can make $200,000 a year. Simple is what I'm telling you. You can absolutely do this renting from landlords that are having a hard time. The same owner of that building called me up because they have 3 more properties near downtown that they just can't rent to anybody, and they're going to give me a sweetheart of a deal to rent those too. I'm expanding with my current relationships. So no, landlords don't hate this. Landlords go, wow, this is predictable. I want to keep renting to this guy or girl. So yes, please watch that video from yesterday. I'll leave it in the corner if you want to learn what I think makes a space slap in 2025 and be profitable, even on a low budget. And then from there, if you're interested in this game, my friends, I have endless educational videos on this channel. Basically, teaching Airbnb is my personality type. And so all of it is there, all of it. You can learn for free and start your business here. And it'll be cool to teach you. I'd love to have you. So hit subscribe, maybe. Come back for some more, right? Watch a couple other videos and then subscribe. I don't know. I'm going to try to rism with the tism, right? I'm going to info dump you on some videos. But thank you for supporting me in this video. It's good to have you here at the end. And as always, my friends, I will see you on the other side.